All right, great to have you back with us as we talk some baseball here before the Giants game. Joined by Ryan Christenson. Of course, he's the bench coach for the San Francisco Giants. Ryan, another season, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Marty. Always good catching up with you.
Yeah, this is one I was looking forward to having you on. First of all, talk about a little bit about your job this year and what it was like working with Bo Mel here in San Francisco.
Well, it's always fun kind of coming to a new organization. There was a little apprehension when I made the move from Oakland, where I'd spent most of my career and had a lot of great friends, and that was the one organization that I knew the best, especially as a coach. And then you go to a place like San Diego, had a ton of superstars, going to a new organization, new people, new GM, new expectations, but the role was the same. But what I found out and what I realized, that we're all in baseball, the coaches especially, we're all cut from the same cloth, and it's been a seamless transition into both organizations. And I've really enjoyed my year here with San Francisco so far. I've enjoyed watching the young talent coming through and getting to know them and building these relationships with these guys as we look on to next year and looking to really do some really good things.
Yeah, Ryan Christenson with us. You're famous for your calligraphy. The lineup cards. How did all that happen?
I think, the first time I put a calligraphy pen in my hand, I was really, really young. My grandma gave me a pen, and it was in my closet, and I'd pick it up and put it down throughout my childhood. And so I kind of knew the fundamentals of how a calligraphy pen worked. And I think if I look back at my childhood, I was always doodling and kind of fascinated with letters and the construction of letters, and I'd draw logos on my folders in school, and I was always doodling like that on my walls. At my house, I had painted all you remember the pennants that you used to buy at the ballparks? I used to love collecting the pennants, and I'd paint all the logos of the teams around the top of my room and stuff like that. So I always had a kind of an artistic mind and an affinity for, like I said, letters and specifically. So what a perfect job for somebody that makes out Major League lineup cards. And I love the fact that it's unique. I love the fact that when a player does something well, it's something that they can take home and put on their wall, and it's a little piece of art, and it's kind of something unique is the best word.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. You got to see it, fans. You got to go and Google or something. Just do Ryan Christenson calligraphy, and I'm sure it'll come up. What do you do with them? I mean, I know you give some out to people, but where do they end up?
As far as I know, I don't keep any of them. Okay. As far as I know, the Giants sell them, I think. Okay. So I think they're maybe in the team store, and people like to buy, like if they come to a game on their birthday or something like that, they can buy they're all authenticated, obviously. The ones that I did get were copies this year, but the Rickwood one was really cool. I think that one ended up in the Hall of Fame, actually, which was pretty neat for myself. That one, I have the Blake Snell perfect game one, or no-hitter one, signed by him, and that I'll take home. And so there's a few that just kind of catch my eye that I like that I'll bring. But I do enjoy, especially like for a rookie that's making his debut or something like that, I'll do something a little special for them.
All right. Well, I'm going to put in my request.
There you go.
Make one up with me in it.
Yeah.
All right. Just put me in anywhere. I like it. I'll do that.
Done. You just have to find it. It'll be real incognito. Marty Lurie somewhere on the page.
I like it. All right. You're the bench coach. What kind of a season have you had as the bench coach? And you look back on it, what you expected and how it's ended up for you personally.
Well, I mean, again, just watching these young guys, getting a chance to work with a lot of these outfielders, the Ramoses, now the McRae's, Yastrzemski has been outstanding. They have all done, exactly what I've asked them to do, and just kind of it was a seamless transition. Somebody coming in new, working with you that has some different ideas of teaching outfield and the numbers that the industry is really paying attention to, and I think it kind of resonated with them a lot, and we've got great effort from them all year, and I couldn't be happier with just the dynamic that we've created here between coach and players. And then also enjoy working with Mark Hallberg on some of the base running stuff and trying to get these guys. That process has been a little longer than I would like, but I think with what we've had to work with and some of the speedy guys that are here now, it's exciting to watch them kind of try to go to the next level with our running game and see them just again seeing the game through the way we see it, pouring through all the video and the tips and the tells that you try to put in front of them to take advantage of in a game. And it's a fun process, and again, it's fun when these guys get it and you take advantage of it, and you do some things in the game where you spend a lot of hours, pouring through video, and all of a sudden it shows up just for one play in a game, and it turns out to be a big play, and that's the gratifying part.
Wow. Well, I saw you play, of course, when you broke in. I've known you over 25 years already and watched your career. You were a heck of an outfielder. Let's talk about McRae a little bit. I had him on the show, and I said, Grant, base stealing, what's the most important thing for you? Who do you steal off of, the pitcher or the catcher? He says, I don't care who's catching. I'm going on the pitcher. I like the kid.
I do too. He's got a great confidence. Just how you just described him. That's exactly how he talks. He's fearless, and I think the main thing about him is that he really does want to be great. And that's I don't think that's necessarily true for everybody. And there's guys that want to be great, but there's guys that are willing to put in the extra work and the effort to become the player that they desire to be. And you see that with Grant. I mean, he's in the office every day talking with Mark and myself about the pitchers that we're about ready to see and the guys we think that we can steal on. And yes, he does think that he can steal on most of them, but it's a little different game here. The game, you know, in the minor league, sometimes a really fast guy like him can outrun a baseball where it's a little tougher to do. And you got Gabby Moreno down there behind the dish, and guys like Patrick Bailey that are able to throw, you know, mid 1/8 down to second base. That's really doing it. So, but I really do like the kid. The skills are undeniable. His talent is undeniable. You know, he just is a joy to watch in the outfield. He flies, and he's going to be fearless. You're going to see him make some spectacular plays, and you know, these at bats that he's getting right now are just going to pay off huge in the end of his career as he figures out who he is as an offensive player. And it's just fun to watch Pat Burrell and Justin Vealey and Pedro Guerrero talking with him and working him and helping him understand, you know, the type of player, the type of approach that he has to have to be successful and stick around this game for 10 plus years and really be somebody that Giants fans enjoy to come out and watch play every day.
Well, I like base running, and I like Chapman and the way he runs the bases. And, I got a good view of it. When he goes first to third, he's a jet. He goes first to third as good as anybody I've ever seen. I mean that. Of course, we saw the inside-the-park home run and the triple and all that kind of stuff. But of all the base runners, to me, he looks like the best you got.
The instincts are there. I've had a chance to work with Matt Chapman from my early days of coaching with the A's in the minor leagues, and he's always had the instincts for the game. And sometimes you can't teach that, but he's naturally has those, and it shows up, like you said, on all the things that he does on the bases. But I think the thing I'm happiest for the Giants with the signing of Matt Chapman long term is, I mean, you got a complete, total professional, a guy that shows up to the clubhouse the same every single day. This is a guy that goes out there and works in the same fashion, the same manner, as a routine every single day. Plays the game the way you described, going first to third, running out double plays, trying to steal the bag when the opportunity is there every single day. In here rooting for his team all the time, no matter if he struck out 4 times or if he's hit 4 home runs. I mean, that's just who Matt Chapman is, and he cares more about his teammates than he does about himself, and that's why he's such a great leader on a team. And to have that as the centerpiece of a team with all these young players, especially position players, coming into this or into this big league team right now, to have that as the example of what a pro looks like on a daily basis, I think you can't put a price tag on it. So that's why I was so excited that they got this deal done, and knowing that he's going to be here influencing these guys for the next 5 years is going to pay off huge.
Yeah. No, he's a player, and I love watching him play. There's throws from third or just arrows to first base. Just throws right on the money just about every time. Ryan Christenson with us. He's the bench coach for the Giants. I like to assess what goes on, and you and, as I say, we've known each other a long time. What about Marco Luciano? What happens with him? Now, he may be in your purview now. He may be an outfielder. You're going to have to deal with that. What about Marco this year?
I'm intrigued by him. I mean, the bat is what's the most intriguing part about him. I mean, you watch this guy swing the bat. He's got a short, quick swing to the zone. He allows the ball to get deep, and he can actually do some things to the opposite field, which is always a plus for a good hitter. I think we're talking here of late of the possibility of him moving to the outfield, which I'm very intrigued by, because I've dealt with quite a few infielders that have moved to the outfield, and the instincts of an infielder moving to the outfield transition seamlessly, in my opinion. So I think this might take a little pressure off him off the dirt, going out there, being able to concentrate a little bit more on his hitting. Not that he wouldn't concentrate on his defense, but I think the instincts that he has in the infield right away are going to show up in the outfield, and he's going to be able to be very proficient at a very quick time to be able to play the outfield, not hurt you out there because it's a new position, and go out there and do what he wants to do, which is hit.
Well, I like the bat. I've always said that. The bat will play for me somewhere, so we'll see if the outfield is in Luciano's future. Well, you got a good look at the team. You're right there with Baumel every day. What went wrong? A team probably is a 500 team. It can beat anyone on any given night. Any given night. You don't want to play the Giants. You could lose that game. But then again, you can lose a game, too, to other teams. What happened with this ball club?
Well, it was just an inconsistent performance all year long. I think it started out, we signed Blake Snell. Everybody was excited. We didn't see the Blake Snell that we're seeing now earlier in the season. Then all of a sudden he goes on the disabled list or the injured list, and he's gone, and you're trying to mix and match. You're relying on a lot of young pitchers in the rotation, be it the Birdsongs and the Harrisons and the Keaton Wins when he was here. And there's youth out in the bullpen. There's Randy Rodriguez. There's Miller. And then all the position players. So this is a youthful team, which I think is why we saw the inconsistency in play all year, and that's the recipe for a 500 team, and that's exactly what we are, or who we were, and what we did. But the interesting part about this is that all the experience that these young players got this year coming into next year, knowing that they can actually play at this level, succeed at this level, and that they belong at this level, you look at it from a business side too, the flexibility that gives you as a GM to go out there and plug in the key pieces that we need through free agency is actually really exciting going forward, because these guys did get some valuable experience, and we're seeing a lot of good players that are going to be a part of this team for a lot of years. And when you got controllable guys like that and you can build around them, you already got the Matt Chapman there at third base, a platinum gold winner. Looks like Pat Bailey's going to win a Gold Glove behind the dish, and these young pitching prospects that are coming up. It's a good time to build a team right now around this young nucleus that can really be successful very, very quickly.
Yeah, I say if you have a lead after 6, you're generally going to win the game, and plus you've played over 80 1 or 2 run games. And as the bench coach, there's a lot of strategy in a 1 or 2 run game. That's a lot of things that could turn around in 1 year or not.
Absolutely, and I think our disappointment with the one-run games has just been our lack of production with the runner at third base and less than 2 outs, the 2-out RBIs. Those are daggers, those are killers that you need to cash in if you're going to play those kind of games, especially. And we knew going into this season those are the kind of games that we were going to play, and we just haven't been consistent enough getting those RBIs in and then the runners in from third. To win and be on the right side of those one-run games, because like you said, I didn't even mention Ryan Walker and how fantastic of a job that he's done there as a rookie as well, for the most part. And these guys in the bullpen did it all year and kept us right there, and the starting pitching as well did their part. So it's a funny game, and you come out on over half of those one-run losses that we did drop, and we're right there in the thick of this thing. So that's why I'm so excited about moving on forward into next year, and especially with the way we've showed here, recently of how we can play against some really good playoff teams. When you looked at September coming into this month, playing all the playoff teams every single night over and over again. It could have been a horrible month, and we're looking at playing well there in Baltimore, playing well here. It's just it's pretty exciting. They're sweeping the Royals, another playoff team. It's good to see these guys just kind of figure out who they are and actually go out there and play and put on a nice little run as we get ready to build into the next season. Yeah, the 1-run, 2-run games for me can turn in a minute. One hit here, or a fielding play here, or a bullpen issue, which brings me to Duvall and the history of relief pitching. Look, you've managed in the minor leagues. You've been a big leaguer since the late 90s. You've seen Keith Falk. You've seen Billy Koch. You've seen, the old days guys that we used to see all the time. What is it about a relief pitcher? 1 year it's good, the next year not so good. We see that with the best relievers from time to time. You do see it over and over again. I don't know if anybody's able to put their finger on why that does happen, but I think with a young player, especially somebody as talented as Camilo is, I think there's something to be said with sometimes when you're that good and you're that dominant coming through as a young player, young minor league player. He came into the big leagues, all-star. That's anybody wanted to talk about at the All-Star game last year was how good this kid Camilo Duvall was, and I saw it when across the field when we were in San Diego, and we knew when he came in the game at the end, throwing 100 miles and 90+ mile-an-hour cutters and sliders, that it was probably going to be over. This guy was that good. So my point was, when somebody's succeeded and the game has been so easy, when you do struggle, sometimes you don't know what to fall back on because you've never had to deal with a struggle. So that's been the learning experience for him, I think, this year, is that he's had to deal with some failure. He's had to deal with some struggle. He had to deal with getting sent down to work on his times to the plate. So I think all in all, hopefully this is a learning experience that we're going to come back here and now we're going to see another great performance by Camilo next year. And I truly believe that that's who we're going to see next year. We're not going to see the struggles like he's went through this year. And when the guy throws strikes, and he showed it again last night, darn near unhittable. His stuff is that good. So it's an electric arm. He has the temperament to put failure behind him, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do with this season. And there was a lot of great, bright, shining moments of this season that he can kind of reflect on as well. So put that all together, and we're going to see, I think, the 2023 and 22 version of Camilo next year.
Yeah, relief pitching for me, you never know. But generally the good ones are fairly consistent in their careers, but there's always that blip on the screen. But, gee, what happened this year? And I've seen that over the course of relief pitching. So who's the big surprise? Who's the guy you said maybe coming out of spring training, you didn't expect this, and all of a sudden here we are, September, with a few games to go, and the guy's on the big league roster and doing something?
Well, it was Elliot Ramos, easily for me. I mean, the guy, he was one of the first players out, unfortunately, but he handled that like a pro. I remember that meeting in spring training, and then to come out and just do what he did, make the all-star team, be a force right at the top of the lineup the entire year, and play every single day. You know, that's what's been awesome, is that he's still out there playing with enthusiasm. I mean, he's so easy to coach, too. That's what I really appreciate about Elliot. You know, I get to work with him in the outfield, so I get to talk to him a lot, but he's so grateful about the opportunity, and he's not taking it for granted, and he wants to be better, and he asks questions, and he's in there, you know, listening to him talk with the hitting coaches. He knows where his deficiencies are right now. He knows how he's learning real quick with how the league is pitching him, and he's trying to make the adjustments, laying off the stuff up in the zone to finish him off, or the stuff off the plate, the same thing. But I mean, this guy's got one of the quickest, most powerful swings to the zone. To be able to hit a ball in the water as a right-hand hitter, I mean, come on. I mean, that's so unique and so special, and that's the kind of player that this guy can really be.
Well, John Jaha, how about that?
I remember John Jaha, that's right. Crazy Train, walk-up song, right, there in Oakland. Short swing again, strong guy, hit a lot of opposite field home runs, that's for sure.
Well, the thing about it, I can do this with Ryan because we were both there, but when John Jaha came around third, you didn't put up the stop sign. Wash did not put up the... When Jaha was rolling, he kept rolling. That's right. And he was a great right-handed hitter.
He really was. And again, a guy that we talked about Ramos and Luciano about the short swing that has power to right field. That was John Jaha. I mean, I can just remember him hitting home runs into right center field there in Oakland when I played with him, and it was impressive. He's a big, strong human, but there was no it wasn't an accident that he was able to do what he did because the swing was that short and compact.
I remember him quite well. The feet. He had trouble with his feet.
Yes,
that was the issue. Yeah. All right, a couple more very quickly. Encarnacion. I love the bat. There's something about this guy. He hits the right field. I say Rico Cardi. It's probably before your time to remember who that was. But, boy, he swings the bat, doesn't he?
I'm probably more intrigued by Gerard than I am by anybody else, just because the guy came out of nowhere. I mean, we found him in Mexico. He comes into our system in AAA, and you look at the box score every night, and he's like, man, who's this Encarnacion that's just hitting homers and doubles and, you know, putting up base hits, and he gets here to us, and he's a big presence. He's a big man. You watch him hit early batting practice or just batting practice in general, and this guy's got power to every single part of the ballpark, big power. You watch him taking at bat, and he's not just a free swinger. There's an idea, there's a plan, there's some control of the zone. He's had some really big hits for us. I mean, the ball jumps off of his bat, and again, this guy is like one of the most grateful guys for somebody that's coming to the big leagues. He just appreciates it, this opportunity. He wants to be a piece, and you look at kind of where we're looking to maybe build as we're looking at DH, maybe first base, right field, stuff like that. That's what he does, and so to have a guy like that, again, another young rookie type player making minimum salary for a guy you can just kind of keep in your back pocket and build some stuff around and know you can plug and play him in those three different positions especially is pretty intriguing to me.
Yeah, I like the bat. That's another one. I like the bat. And he can run, and he hustles.
He's not a slug. That's for sure.
No, he can run. All right, couple more. Yaz, right field. My Diamondback guys, all right. Yaz in right field. You've been around a lot of right fielders. And of course, this right field, it's short. And the throw from right to second is short. I saw Scherholtz do it, and right fielders could do it, and wow, they throw everybody out because it's a short throw. But you got to play that wall, and then you got to deal with the gap. He does that pretty well.
He does do that very well. And, you look at some of the metrics of right fielders, he's right up there with some of the best in the game right now, and I think he's going to be right in line to be, I know he should, without a doubt in my mind, be a Gold Glove finalist if you talk about the best top 3 right fielders. I know that Sal Frelick is and Churio there in Milwaukee both played right field, and their numbers show up very well on all those kind of metrics that a lot of the voters will look at. So it might be tough to take down one of those for the Gold Glove out there, but in my opinion, he has been one of the best right fielders in the game this year, and he does play the right field there in Oracle effortlessly. He knows all the bounces that are going to be coming off the wall, knows how to position himself. He knows how the wind blows the ball back into play that some might take for granted coming into Oracle, but he's just got a great feel for the position. And again, this is a guy that, new coach coming in, talking outfield. He's listened to some of the ideas that I've had, and I just appreciate how receptive he is to kind of doing something different and actually putting it out there into play and still having a great year defensively, no matter how you look at it.
All right, so if my award for the guy who tries the hardest, who would you go? The guy who tries the hardest, and then I'll tell you, after you pick, I'll tell you who I pick.
Well, I think the old saying goes is my grandma can try. So I don't know. That's an overrated word. So I'm not gonna give you a good name for that, Marty, because I mean, you either do or you do not. Didn't Yoda say that? You do or you do not. There is no try. Yeah. So I'm not into trying. I'm into doing, and that's what I'm into doing.
All right. I'm going to say Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He tries very hard. He tries to be perfect.
Yeah, that's a good call. That is his makeup. He tried. But this guy, I really have appreciated. This is a guy that came up. He's got all the tools. He's the guy that was spent 30-30 in the minor leagues, 30 homers, 30 stolen bases. He's one of the fastest guys in the league, and he's up on the team in kind of a super utility type role, pinch runner type role. And you want to see him go out there and do all these things that his tools allow him to do, and he gets out there and a couple things go wrong. Guy makes a great throw, he gets thrown out. We're looking to run off of Trinan, and Trinan early in the year, throws a balk move on him that he'd never really probably even seen before, and he gets picked off in a big moment. So it's some confidence busting moments that he had early on that he had to fight through, he had to struggle through. But to see him continue to want to be better and be good at that, the guy's on his game. He's studying, he's coming in every day looking for help and just those little keys that's going to help him go out there and have a successful performance. And then he goes down to AAA, and he goes down there and right away just freed him up. He didn't have to worry about getting sent down. He just knew he was there to play, and he goes bonkers, and then he comes back to us, and he hits all these home runs. So everybody, the talent, again, is undeniable. It's just about him getting these valuable at-bats this year and learning, again, how the league is adjusting to how he was beating them, and now he's on the other side and trying to figure some stuff out the way teams are pitching him. But, again, he's a student, and he comes in every day, and he's talking with Pat. He's talking with JV, the hitting coaches, with Bob Melvin, the base running coaches to keep him doing it, because he's so dynamic in all parts of the game, and just the amount of work that a big leaguer has to put into his day to be proficient on defense. Being a great shortstop. It's like the hardest position in sports to be a big league shortstop on an everyday basis, and go out there and have 4 solid at bats. Is just it's a fun process to work. You watch him through the struggles and you watch him through the good things. But you talk about a guy that in his rookie year has proven he's intriguing to be a 30-30 guy at the big league level. I mean, he's got the power. He's done it in the minor leagues. Again, he's fast and he can play anywhere on the diamond. I love this guy, and his makeup is through the roofs as far as a human being. So it's just one of those players that you just truly enjoy working with, and I wish nothing but success to him moving forward in his career, because he's got the tools, that's for sure.
Plus, he's a rookie. Come on, he's a rookie playing all over the place, and he hit 5 home runs in 2 days or something. He's a rookie, so he's my hardest worker. That's my guy for that. All right, you need to steal a base. You got McRae on there. You got Fitzgerald on there. I think it's kind of exciting to see it. If you need a bag with those 2 guys on there, for me, it's not are they going, it's what pitch are they going.
Yeah, it is, and again, but there's just so much more to it. I mean, as somebody that watches all the video of these opposing pitchers, I mean, you come into a team like Kansas City, and I was just so impressed with how buttoned up these guys. I mean, these guys are 1-2 to the plate with these guys over. I don't care how fast you are. If you don't have something to turn his 1-2, that was always Ricky Henderson's biggest point that stuck with me, is his ability to turn a guy that was a 1-2 or a 1-3 to the plate into a 1-5. because he knew the tendencies, he knew the tells. Maybe the guy might have, I mean, some of the stuff that Mark Hallberg is fantastic as far as, picking up these tells. And something as little as a guy might lick his lips, when he's going to the plate, and to be able to vault lead or expand your lead when the guy's going to the plate, and to have that fearless mentality that I know the guy's going to go to the plate. I'm going to get out here in an uncomfortable position, maybe out to 15, 16-foot lead, and that's the difference of being able to steal on a guy from 16 feet versus a 12-foot lead, because that's obviously 4 extra feet, and that's what is the difference there. So somebody that just comes in, like we talked about Grant before, we'll use the word the arrogance, to think that he can just steal off a guy 1-2 with Gabby Moreno from the Diamondbacks back there that can throw 1-8. The math doesn't add up. That's just over 3 seconds, and nobody is going to run, just under 90 feet from first to second in 3 seconds. So again, there's more study to this thing. You got to know what this guy's going to do, and that's the work that Grant and Fitzgerald are showing that they're willing to put into play, and that's the reason I think they're both going to be very good base stealers and game-changing players at this level.
Was it like this when you broke in? The detail that you just described.
No, because the video capabilities, like I said, you do something on a big league field, people are going to see, because that's how many eyeballs are on every game, every camera angle. I mean, even people in the dugout, they're watching everything. They're trying to figure out who's giving the signs, what are their signs doing. So everything you do on a big league field is going to be on video, and teams are looking to take advantage of it. And if you don't mix it up and tighten your game up, I mean, you watch guys take the leads at second base when you play good teams like the Dodgers and teams like that are very astute and into this kind of thing. They're trying to dig into every time a pitcher goes up there and puts his hand in the glove and how he holds his glove, and see if they can see a wrist angle or a finger popping up on a breaking ball or a glove getting a little wider on a changeup. That's what they're looking for. And if you don't have that part of your game covered up, that guy's going to relay it to the batter at the plate, and now all of a sudden he knows what pitch is coming, and then the game is just way different when you know what pitch is coming. And it happens at every single base. Every coach is watching it. Every coach is looking to relay it to a hitter, and it's tough.
Why? What a story. You're a good baseball man. I was looking forward to this, because when you and I talk, we talk ball. And, you're saying all these things. How would you like to be the player today that you were back then? You think your game would be better?
That's a great question. I don't know if my game would have been better. I think you always seem to kind of evolve and get wiser as you go. So you think, if I knew what I knew back then, now I would have been better, because I just know more, and you're always learning. So I think in that regard, yes, 100%. But I do know that the game has changed. The velocity and the stuff that these guys face every single night is impressive, and it's hard. But at the same time, I don't see as many pitchers in the game. There's guys out there that are dominant. But for example, one of the things I look for is pitchers that can command a glove side pitch. So a right-hander that can command the plate on the first base side, his glove side, right? So I remember listening to Scott Emerson over there in Oakland as he was the pitching coordinator, he was infatuated with it and obsessed with this. Like, that's what he taught to our pitchers coming through the minor league system is goal number one. You got to throw your heater, say 65% of the time, and you need to command it on the glove side, because the mistake. So if you can picture this, you got a right-hander on the mound and you got a right-hander at the plate. Guy's trying to throw a fastball down and away, and you see the catcher set up down and away. That's the homer pitch. The catcher's glove starts to go up towards the middle, and all of a sudden it's right down the middle. We call that an arm side miss, and I see that over and over again. I tell Matt Williams all the time, like, Matt, you would kill the league right now, because these guys, I don't want to use too broad of a example here, but a lot of these pitchers are trying to just throw the ball as hard as they can. The deliveries aren't as clean to be able to command the glove side. So if you can't command a glove side pitch, I don't have to worry about anything out there on that part of the plate. Start your slider out there that breaks off. I'm not even going to offer it. I'm looking for something close, which, back to Matt Williams, who's looking to hit the ball in the left field seats over and over again. He would have murdered some of these guys in the league right now, especially right-handed pitchers, because that's where they miss. They try to throw sliders, and it just yanked into the left-handed batter's box, or it just spins and just kind of hovers over the plate right down the middle. He would murder that pitch. A guy, I don't care how hard you throw. Matt Williams can time up a fastball, but if you can't put it on the outside part of the plate and you leave it over the middle, he's going to hurt you. So I think in that regard, when you identify guys that can't do certain things, now all of a sudden the approach as a hitter gets refined, and you look in just certain areas and you can leave alone the other part of the plate. If you only have to worry about 2/3 of the zone or even 1/3 of the zone because it's going to be down the middle, you're going to have some success. And if you can do that and not miss your pitch when you get it, you'll have success. And I just remember listening to back in the day when Marcus Semien was with the Oakland A's. So what's your approach up there, Mark? He's like, literally, I'm looking for something down the middle. I know I'm going to get it, and when I get it, I'm not going to miss it, and I'm going to put on my numbers because he's going to be up there 600 times. He plays every day. And that's what he did.
I love it. Boy, good stuff. Good stuff. I got to have you on YouTube. We have to do this on YouTube so people can see it, because I can play it, but they got to watch it and see how intense you are and how much you know about this game. What about Oakland? Let's end on that one. The fact that there will be no more Oakland A's.
It's pretty sad. This is such a history in the Bay Area, and somebody like myself that has come through that organization. I owe so much of my baseball career to that organization, to the Keith Lippmans, who were such a big part of that organization. All the great managers that I played for over there. I see all the great players that are coming back, and a lot of the ones that I played with, and it's such a special part of my baseball journey. And I'll always love. Just going back over there this year for the last time for the Bay Bridge Series was such a cool moment, and the tradition over there. And there's something about especially as a player, and I played in the late 90s, and I come back to the building and there's still just like the same security guards. I know when I go down to the dugout, Eric is going to be there. I know Ray's going to be on the third base side. I knew Gus was going to be sitting in front of the dugout. Clay's going to be out there fixing the field, and then Mikey's going to be on the visiting side, and then Cliffy and Matty, they're all going to be there. And that was such a family-oriented organization for so many years, and I was glad to be a part of it. And it's sad that it's going away, and I feel bad for the fans that really pulled for that team and just never left their side. And to see the team have to move is really disheartening. But I understand, I really do.
Yeah. Horace, that was when I remember. Horace.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Well, great to chat with you. It is. You do a great job. And as I'll say it again, 85 1 or 2 run games, you get a hit here, something happens here, and a season turns around. And you got a very annoying team. You don't want to play the Giants, trust me. If you need a win, you don't want to play the Giants, and that's a compliment.
That is a compliment. We'll take it. Looking forward to build on it.
All right. That's Ryan Christenson. More coming up. KMBR 680, 104.5, the sports leader. It's been a pleasure working with Rick Robin this year. Rick Robin, ROBBEN, NapaConstruction.com. Rick, the last time you were on with us, you told us about kitchen and bath remodeling, but there's a lot more going on up in your area.
Yes, there is. ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units, which are nose to drain units. We can do your existing garage, attached garage, even building a new unit in the back. And so what we do is come out, bring our architect out there. Such a great thing. No sewer hookup fees, no water hookup fees. So that's what we do.
Rick, how does one start the process with you? How does one get in touch with you?
Oh, you call Tammy, 707-332-7575, 7 days a week.
Rick Robin, ConstructionNapa.com. Rick, the thing I like about this, no problem for me. You come out with the plans, the permits, everything is in-house, no fees, and you get a new unit that you can rent out and get money back on your investment right away. I like it, Rick.
Thanks, Marty. Love talking to you.
Rick Robin, ConstructionNapa.com. It's been a